Sometimes a dream will grow so big that it no longer fits inside the name that it once held. Have you ever had this moment where you look around at your life, your people, your purpose, and you realize that the dream that God planted in you has stretched beyond anything that you have ever imagined? If you're a teacher who feels pulled towards something new, a parent searching for the education your child truly deserves, a founder who is fighting to build something from scratch, and even a dreamer, someone who knows deep down there has to be a better way. Well, today's episode is the one that brings us all home as we enter into the last month of 2025. I want to be giving you a wonderful new preview of what the Teacher Let Your Light Shine podcast is now becoming. ReDream Education come 2026. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand why this change isn't just a new name. It is a new movement. A place where teachers dream again, parents, like myself, believe again, and children, like my own and your own, begin to thrive again. This is the moment that the dream breaks open. Here we go. Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for hundreds of micro school and homeschool hybrid founders. Our Teacher Let Your Light Shine online store, a place for founders' favorites. Inside you'll find our beloved bestsellers like the Business Bundle, packed with everything you need to launch and run your school, contracts, enrollment forms, parent partnership letters, and marketing materials that save you hours of stress. Teachers and parents just like you are saying these tools gave them clarity, confidence, and a clear path forward when starting their schools. Whether you're brand new or you're ready to grow, our resources are designed to help you skip the overwhelm and focus on what really matters most, like our open house playbook, our financial review preparation sheet, templates for Facebook and email marketing, how to create the perfect planning day guide, finding curriculum clarity workbook, our new course, Micro School Marketing Blueprint, all the information for legal clarity for beginners, and, of course, the yearly membership to Micro School Masterminds. Head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Again, teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Skip the overwhelm and focus on what matters most: your students, your mission, and your vision. teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Go there today and grab tools that will help you shine. The Teacher Let Your Light Shine podcast has almost 400 episodes. And as a matter of fact, as we end this year, we will have recorded 400 episodes, plus a few bonuses here and there. And I'm going to take you back to the very first episode, which is when I was 1 year into having our micro school. Having started in our living room with 6 children, folding tables, 0 roadmap, and a calling, a whisper, and a whole lot of fear during one of the most fearful times in our history here in the United States and all over the world with COVID. Was also a very fearful time because I had just left my teaching career that I absolutely loved. I pulled my children from public school, which was very intimidating. I started homeschooling, which was even more terrifying and intimidating. And I didn't start a micro school because I had the answers. I started because the traditional system had stopped making sense during that specific time period for my own children and for myself. And a year later, I wanted to be able to share my experience with those of you who have been listening. This was a movement that I had started because the system that I had, like you, been immersed in, not only as a child, as a teenager, but now as an adult teaching, this system was no longer working for us as teachers. It was no longer working for us as parents. It was no longer working for our children. And then you layered on top of that COVID. And I remember sitting in my, in my bedroom, in my thinking chair, sometimes on a rug that I purchased just so that I could kneel down and pray. And not only was I thinking, but I was praying and I would be crying, God, I do not know what I am doing, but I know that I cannot stay where I am, but I am so scared to let go, and I'm so scared to try something different, and I don't even know what different is. And with the circumstances that led to homeschooling, and then inviting other children to come and join us because I knew that it would be so lonely doing it by myself, my children not having friends, from that tiny room, from that decision that took me so long to make, because really I had stopped teaching in 2019 for a calling. Talk about this way beyond, like episode 1, 2, 3. I talk about the calling that I had and the fears that stopped me from answering the call for a long time because of insurance and logistics and fear and doubt and money. There was a spark that was lit. It was not just in me, but it was once I started podcasting and titled the episode, Teacher, Let Your Light Shine. Every teacher who had listened to the podcast, every parent who was searching for something different, every founder who whispered, maybe I can do this too, came a Facebook group. It was a lifeline. It was a doorway. It was a place where all of us who were dreaming, parents and teachers, we woke up and something happened along the way. This movement did not stay small. This did not stay my little idea. This became a massive, massive, incredible, glorious, celebratory movement for all of us. Many of you who've listened to Teacher Let Your Light Shine didn't even know what a micro school was. I didn't even know what a micro school was until almost 2 years in. I had already even started the podcast. Micro schools were starting to pop up everywhere. Founders have started gathering. Parents started advocating. And then, of course, our precious children became flourishing. Little, audacious, spontaneous, incredible learners. Lighthouse Learning, over the past couple of years, our micro school completely exploded. And suddenly, the name, Teacher Let Your Light Shine, felt as if it was ready for a change. In 2025, we definitely experienced one of the most grounding, heartache, scary times in the history of Lighthouse Learning. We are in year 6 of our micro school. I can't even believe it. I had to literally stop for a second and think, how many years have we been doing this? I didn't even know if after year 1, I was going to continue to do it. It was because parents said, wow, this is really awesome. It's working. My kids love it. And I cannot imagine them going anywhere else. We stayed in our house for 3 years. As you all know, if you've been listening for a while, 18 children, an adorable dog, myself, and 3 teaching assistants. We moved to a church for 2 years. And at the beginning of 2025, when we were in one of the most explosive years, 100 students, the pastor of the church came and said, we have to sell the building. We have to sell very quickly. And if anyone knows how to find a location, you know it is hard. If you were at the Vela conference this past summer, during my keynote speech, I share this journey with you. And we really thought, okay, God, 5 years, we've had a really great race. My kids have been a part of it. And because we went through about 6 months of not knowing if we were going to have a school and if we would have a school, where it was going to go, every fear, doubt, unknown, uncertainty, I thought my life purpose was going to change again. My husband gave up his career to come and be a full-time employee at Lighthouse Learning. My child was there. My oldest daughter works there. We were like totally invested. And I felt as if this was potentially going to come to an end. We also had some heartache of untrustworthy acquaintances during the past year, all of which have been forgiven, and honestly grateful for those experiences, because as much as it hurts to go through the fire, we're always refined like gold. So in the midst of also losing what we felt we were going to lose, our school, we also gained something that I had been envisioning and longing for and praying for over a decade. And that was, having since moved to Florida, we finally were able to purchase our own home. And it's a beautiful home and a wonderful, safe place to call home for myself and my husband and our children. I really wanted to make sure that we bought a home before our daughter graduated high school. I wanted her to be able to come home to a place she felt was home. And it's funny how that happens. There's a death in your life, it feels, but there's also a birth. And we we had to go all the way up until July without knowing where we were going to move our school, which completely halted marketing. It completely halted hiring. It changed the dynamic of our curriculum. It was as if we were not going to have a school. That's how it felt. All the way up until the end of June, when we miraculously went to the very last place, which, lo and behold, is 3 miles from my doorstep to that doorstep of our school. I can ride my bike there. I can walk there. It's in the most beautiful area that my husband and I had always dreamed of living. That's where we live. And now our school is there too. God was working it all out. So in July, we were really pressed for time. We had to renovate the church that had been abandoned pretty much for 30 years. We had to hire. We had to move the school. We had just finished moving our house, renovating our house. Now we're renovating the church. And it all was, really fun, terrifying, and a lot of pressure. When we started this year, we started with almost 90 students and more staff than we have had in the past. A beautiful place that actually fit the needs of our school. My daughter ended up going to public school this past year. This is a whole nother ReDreaming Education podcast to come in the future of what this is like for our family as we are going through a ton of hardship with both of our girls going and being in public school, and a lot of reflecting and surrendering and praying. And I know that God works it all out together for good. And I believe that that's why right now we are in a shift for all of us to ReDream Education. When school started, it was about in September where I finally was able to catch my breath. As I had mentioned, just feeling as if everything we had worked for would potentially go away. The fear of the unknown, my husband and I both trying to decide what we were going to do if the school wouldn't make it, not knowing if we should tell parents or not tell parents, knowing that July 1st, if we did not have a location, we were going to have to say goodbye. The sadness, the feeling as if we failed. It's worth writing a book over for sure. And it was a Friday. I told my husband that I was not going to come to work that day. And I dropped my daughter off at school. And I said I was going to go back home and I was going to do some things at the house. But instead I decided, I got a wild hair, that I was going to go to a restaurant. 9:30 in the morning, I was going to go to a restaurant. And it was off a trail that my husband and I used to ride bikes on where we used to live. Beautiful breakfast area. And I sat outside and it was overlooking a lake. And I sat outside and had an amazing breakfast, by the way. Like, it was amazing. Actually, wait, I did not have breakfast first. I went on the walking trail and I walked 3 miles. Now, what was special about this trail that I'm telling you about is, yes, my husband and I walked this trail a lot. We also rode our bikes up and down this trail. But this trail sat next to a house that my husband and I had been very, very, very fervently praying for. And back in 2022, I believe, we were desperate to find a new location for our school because, remember, we were at 18 children. And I had also been praying for a house to call home since I had moved to Florida. This was 12 years ago. My husband and I would ride our bikes down this trail and look at this subdivision to our right that had every house had at least 1.5 acres to 2 acres. It was zoned agriculture, so we could have animals. We could build a school in the backyard. We thought that this house that was sitting on this property, when it went for sale, it was during the mix of everybody trying to buy a house. We put down a very large offer, very competitive offer, and we went into this house that had a separate detached garage. We had 2 acres of land that we could build the school on. It was like my dream come true, right? I'm going to get this house. I'm going to get this land. We're going to have this beautiful backyard schoolhouse. It was everything that God had placed in my heart for years and years and years and years since my oldest daughter, who's 17, was born. Oh my goodness, this is coming to life. And the kids are going to mow, and they're going to learn how to take care of animals, and they're going to plant a garden, and they're going to know how to homestead, and we're going to use my house, and we're going to use this building that we built in the backyard. And we walked into this house. We put down a very large offer. There were lighthouses hanging all in this house. So I just knew this house was going to be for us. It was going to be for the school. And we got denied. They took another offer, better offer. Heartbroken. So for 2 more years, my husband and I would ride our bikes through this neighborhood and put letters on people's door asking them to sell their house to us so we could build our school in our backyard, zoned agriculture, and let the dream live on. Never got a phone call. Never found another house for sale because no one sold their houses apparently in that neighborhood because it was like gold. And I felt as if many times the dream was crushed. So as I'm walking down this trail, so I had to give you a little bit of backstory there. As I'm walking down this trail in September, after a ton of heartache, a ton of fight or flight feelings, thinking we were going to lose the school, finally getting the school, having to hurry up and rebuild the school in 30 days. Wow, it was just a very, very roller coaster ride. It was very thrilling, and I'm glad we rode it. Now I'm walking down this trail, and there was this one particular house we would ride our bikes by, and I would say, that's the house, honey. I want that house. Other than the house that we built, that we purchased, that we tried to buy. Okay, follow along with me here. Stay with me. So there's this house sitting on the trail, and it had a beautiful, already made detached garage, pool, beautiful, 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 sitting on the bike trail. Perfect. Other than the other house that we put an offer on that we got denied. Okay, you're with me here. So I'm walking down this trail in September, and I look over and I'm like, knowing now I've got a house where we live, right? I'm located off, if you're familiar with Central Florida, I'm located off one of the most amazing, beautiful roads that leads to one of the most heavily populated and sought after state parks. My husband and I always wanted to live in this area, if not the area that I was just describing. So here I am living in this brand new house that we're just absolutely in awe and grateful for. And by the way, if this is you, if you're me, just keep holding on. It's going to come. Okay, keep holding on. I needed to hear someone tell me that the dreams that you're hoping for, the things that you are striving for, the things that you are praying for, keep holding on, keep pressing forward. It's going to happen. I'm so elated that God not only gave us this beautiful home, we got this home and didn't have a school. So we're like, oh my gosh, we just made this very, very large investment. Now we don't even know if we're going to have a school. How are we going to pay for this house? You know, all the things that happen. And now we're having to look for a school very far away from now where we currently live. Okay. Do you see the story here that God, he gave us this house. We had no idea where the school was going to be. And about 4 months later, he blesses us with the school in the same area that we live in the most beautiful area that we had prayed for. Okay. But now let's go back to the trail house. Let's go back to that trail subdivision. I thought that was where we were supposed to be. I thought that we were supposed to have the school in our backyard. The kids would be mowing, there would be gardening, there would be homesteading, and we're not there. And as I was walking this trail and looking at this house that I had just so desperately had been praying for years, and thinking, God, thank you that you did not answer that prayer because we have outgrown it. We have outgrown this house. We have outgrown this land. We have outgrown this garage. And God, I am sorry because where we are now, I was so scared. I said I didn't want to be where we are now. I didn't want to have a big school. But if we would have been at the place that I had fervently prayed for, I would not have the beautiful blessings that we have now of so many people that we get to serve, so many families we've built a community with, so many people that get to work with us, my husband getting to be at Lighthouse Learning with us, my children getting to work with us. If we had kept it in our house, in the backyard, that's where we would have stayed, and I probably would have never gotten out of that little radius. To all my teacher friends, parents, and visionary leaders, if you are listening to this, I know you are passionate about creating a micro school or a program, a homeschool hybrid that truly shines. But let's be totally honest. Building and growing a micro school or your own program or homeschool hybrid, it isn't easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Whether you're just getting started or looking to scale, there's so much to navigate. Legalities, marketing, finances, student enrollment, location, curriculum planning. That's exactly why I created Micro School Masterminds, a community where you don't have to figure it out all alone. Inside, you'll get step-by-step guidance to launch, grow, and sustain your microschool or homeschool hybrid, access to our exclusive training modules, resources, and live coaching, and a supportive network of educators who get it because they're building their own dream schools as well. You have this dream of creating an incredible opportunity for students, for teachers, and yourself. Maybe you're in the early stages, wondering, where do I even start? Or maybe you've already taken the leap, but now you're feeling overwhelmed with marketing, enrollment, all of the planning or the finances. You're not alone, and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. That's why Microschool Masterminds is here to help you on a month-by-month basis. That's right, it's a month-by-month membership designed to give you the support, structure, and strategy you need to actually make progress. Each month, you'll get live group coaching calls so you can ask questions, get feedback, and gain clarity on your next steps. Step-by-step training modules on legal setup, marketing, enrollment, financial planning, school operations, a private community of passionate educators who get what you're building and are right there with you, a roadmap to keep you moving forward whether you're launching or growing your school, and new resources delivered to your teacher mailbox inside our Microschool Masterminds community that are brand new every single month. And again, the best part is it's a month-to-month membership, so you can join when you're ready and staying as long as you need. Or if you're all in, grab the yearly membership and get 2 months free. This is your time. Your vision deserves a real plan, and I want to help you every step of the way. Go to teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds to join us today. That's teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds. We can't wait to see you. But that's what I had wanted so badly. And don't ever despise the small things, the small beginnings, that dream that felt so big, right? That dream of, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool to have this house with the school in the backyard. Now I look at it, it felt so big, but now that dream was still so small. But at the time it felt so big, like that could never happen. It was never going to happen. And now I look at it and I think, I was so afraid of this dream that we have now. Yet I had been praying for the small things. And because I was praying for the small things and little by little they started to happen, God blessed us with the big things. And I was so scared of even the small thing that now we're in the big thing, and I'm so grateful. And why does God not show us the big things? Because we can't handle it, and we don't want it because it feels so big. If God would have showed us where we live, the house we live in, the school that we are at, I would have said, that seems so overwhelming for me. I cannot do that. I cannot handle that. Or what's the sacrifice going to be? What's the risk versus the reward? Let me just stay here in my comfort zone. But I'm so grateful for those dreams. I'm so grateful because I wouldn't even consider them little dreams. I consider them little seeds for the bigger dream that God was planting. So as I'm walking down this trail, I actually see someone mowing the lawn. And I start to see another house that has chickens. And I start to see a house that has this big, beautiful garden. I thought, I have ridden this trail for so many years. I have looked over here. Why have I not seen what I see today? And I realized I was still stuck in the old dream. And what I have had in my heart, I feel as if this is birth. I do. I believe God births through us these schools and these visions. God, I'm grateful for where we are at our school, but I don't ever want to lose that beautiful seed that you gave of those children mowing and the big, big garden and the vast amount of land for these children to roam and grow and become entrepreneurs and learn homesteading and learn trades for careers. But God, even where we are now, it's going to end up becoming too small. And if I don't keep redreaming and redreaming and redreaming of what education can be like, I'm going to be stuck. And that's for all of us. If we do not keep redreaming, we will be stuck in the original dream. And God continues, just like the harvest, to replant, reseed, regrow, rebirth, replant, reseed, regrow, rebirth, all of it. The dream is going to outgrow your container. So I believe that God has called me as a leader in this work, in this mission field of education, teachers, micro schools, and movements. And because God has given me the gift of being a visionary leader, and many of you are right there with me, you know that it is important for us to continue to dream and to dream and to redream and to dream and dream and dream again and again and again, because we are the people who are helping to light the way for others. So in 2026, after we celebrate our 400th episode, Teacher Let Your Light Shine is now going to be ReDream Education. And it is not necessarily a rebrand, but it is a reclaiming of purpose, of possibility, of what education should be. Because this podcast is no longer for teachers only who are whispering, I want out. It is for everyone who is rebuilding education from the ground up. Yes, it's for teachers wanting out of the traditional system because you're exhausted. You want meaning again. It's for parents who want a different future for their children. And many of you who are founders are teachers and you are parents. You know something's not working and you're ready for options. This podcast is for new founders, of course, building their first micro school. You need courage, you need clarity, you need step-by-step direction. It's for current founders needing systems and sustainability because you're growing, you need support. It's for educators who are longing for purpose, creativity, and calling again because you want to feel alive in the work that you do. And it's for families who are trying to understand this micro school movement and you want help to create it. ReDream Education is the home for all of you because we're not just running schools, we are rebuilding them. So let's talk about what's happening inside the community. Micro School Masterminds is, of course, here to stay. That is our signature program where it is a monthly membership. And we are going to be doing live group coaching every single week. Yep, every single week. For teachers, for founders, for those who are building micro schools, every week we're going to get on a 1-hour call and have live coaching, ask questions. I'm no longer going to be doing one-on-one coaching. As a matter of fact, this is the last month where I will be doing one-on-one clarity coaching. If you're interested in that, definitely go to teachersletyourlightshine.com/coaching. I believe I have 1, maybe 2 spots open. That will be for the month of December. I really love coaching. I love speaking, talking to you, problem solving, and really that's what everybody wants. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to have their questions answered, they want it done in real time, and they also need accountability. So we are still have Micro School Masterminds, you still have the app, you will still have all of the courses, you have all of the resources for free, plus you have every single week, we come together like office hours, you ask questions, we talk about game plans, we talk about structures, we talk about routines, we talk about finances, marketing, just overall support and motherhood and building micro schools. But I also give you actionable steps, I give you resources, and while you wait week to week, you've got accountability. You have action steps to take. We come back together the next week. And this is an ongoing membership for every month that you're a part of it. You can come in at any time. You can get out at any time. But at this rate, it is a monthly membership and we have about 30 people who have already joined us. Now, for our micro school community on Facebook, we will still have our micro school Facebook group. It's over 2,000 people, but it will be called ReDream Education Facebook group. I'll still be doing a podcast every week. The messaging is really going to be about redreaming education and the possibilities and the creativity of getting to design and create your own school. If you are looking for tangible takeaways, for resources, how to start, how to grow, marketing, finances, building community, systems, processes, legalities, documents, items that you can download, upload, introductory packets, all of that will be included in Micro School Masterminds. So I will be coming live weekly in Micro School Masterminds doing group coaching. Plus you've got like a buffet of free resources that you can dive into, videos, documents to get access to at any time. However, if you are needing the inspiration, you want the drive, you want the ideas, you want the creative components, the podcast is where it's going to be. But the tangible action steps of building, sustaining, and growing a micro school will be found in Micro School Masterminds. We will also have some more updates coming over the next few weeks throughout the podcast about what our website will be, what you will find there, what all will be encompassed in Micro School Masterminds. And again, more and more and more about why we need to continue to ReDream education, because micro schools, homeschool hybrids, they are here to stay. And if we do not continue to professionally develop ourselves and to spread the word to other people and to feel secure about what we are doing, we're going to miss out on a movement that's going to be here for decades and decades to come. Today, you heard the story behind the shift, the calling, the pain, the breakthrough, the movement. Teacher Let Your Light Shine helped us to dream, and now ReDream Education helps us build. Just imagine what happens when teachers ignite their purpose again, when parents believe in new possibilities, when founders step out boldly into their calling, when children get the education that they deserve. Imagine what happens when we stop trying to fix a broken system and start imagining a world where we want to create. That is ReDream Education. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Join Micro School Masterminds. Definitely now so that you can get started, so that in January, you already have a foundation. You've already been able to see what is all inside. You get to be a part of our live group coaching, and you're ready for your weekly accountability action steps every single week. Get to talk to me one-on-one in a small group. Get this amazing connection with other people who are walking through it with you. I'm so excited to meet because we used to do it just once a month, and then you had the time to decompress and take that information. But really, because of the demand for wanting one-on-one coaching and just the overall impact that we have when we get to walk through and work things out through live group coaching, this is where it's at. This is ReDreaming Teacher Let Your Light Shine. This is ReDreaming Education. The next chapter of education is being written now. Your voice, your dream, your calling belongs in it. So until next time, keep letting your light shine because your dream is leading the way.